I knew of She Legit for a long time. Like, because I've been to India and I was at some Ayurveda research facilities. And She Legit's always been this incredible elixir, but it was always a pain in the ass to
get it, right?
To consume. But until they made it, like, I mean, David's story, the authenticity, the care about why he's doing it, how he's doing it, where it's from, that changed it all for me.
How did this all start?
How did the health journey start?
Yeah.
I started waking up in college because I started studying it.
Yeah.
So physiology, nutrition. But just before that, I was a normal college kid just trying to decide what I wanted to do. And really loving sports after, American football injury. It was a beautiful moment through the depression of this isn't supposed to be like this. But it was that beautiful moment, that God moment, where the gap was filled with a choice. And that choice was, why don't I learn about this thing, this body, that is currently not working in the standard of what I want to play again.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole thing shifted. My whole life shifted in that moment.
It's pretty amazing.
Which, and it's kind of like life. Sometimes when things aren't working the way you want, you don't have the perspective yet that it was exactly what you needed, right? So, and then getting to learn about, like, I had an interest, I've never really talked about my education because it was kind of a liberal arts education as it related to health. So in college, I got to study physiology, advanced exercise physiology. I got to study nutrition. I got to study kinesiology. I got to get EMT training.
Oh, wow.
I got to learn how to be an athletic trainer, tape ankles. Like, I got exposed. It was it was almost created major.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I still didn't when I left. I just knew that it was gonna be health. And so I immediately found a gym in Colorado because it was just felt home. Any gym, and you get this plethora of people. And then I saw a guy, Dale Greenwald, who is an exercise physiologist, who was working with people on the floor in the gym. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, he's like a doctor, but he's in the gym. And he was putting his hands on people and adjusting people. And so I was watching him forever. And there was a moment I went up to him, I go, what are you doing? Like, he goes, I'm a physiologist, but I work with doctors. I work with chiropractors, osteopaths. I work with insurance companies, people who got injured. I retrain their body how to move. And I was like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, just to be a personal trainer just wasn't that exciting to me. I had all this education, and then, so I shadowed him, and we became partners. I then went back to school. I got my massage certification and advanced rehab training so I could legally touch people, and then took neuromuscular re-education classes.
Wow.
And in all of that was the first time, this was 30 years ago, it's the first time someone mentioned fascia to me.
Wow.
So they started doing fascial work, and I was like, oh my God. Like sitting on fascia and letting it move.
Yeah.
With an immense amount of patience, right? So like, which you appreciate all of that stuff right now. So that was a long time ago. So I got very involved, and so he would give me patients, and I would work on them, and I would adjust neuromuscularly.
Wow.
I still didn't have a clue on the power of fascia, but I was aware of it.
Yeah.
That was the start. And then as I kind of worked with people, nutrition became, okay, so now let's advance. I got another doctor who was retired, who was just a friend, and I knew a pharmacist. So the pharmacist friend, I asked him one day, and he had advanced skincare at the time. Like, and this was, again, more than 27 years ago, about 27 years ago. and he was using vitamin C serums and stuff like that. And then I asked him one day, can you get protein powder and creatine and Mao Wang, which was ephedra at the time? And I said, can you get all? He goes, yeah, of course. I have my pharmaceutical license. I can get pharmaceutical grade. And he'd get the supply for me, and I'd start selling supplements out of my gym locker. And then this doctor that was a friend of this pharmacist, he was retired, and he'd come up to me, and he just locked onto me, and he said, I love what you're doing. The future of medicine is food. And I was like, okay. And he would go to the CU library and print out cinnamon does this for insulin sensitivity, and like he'd basically start lecturing me.
Oh.
And that was the first time I started planting these seeds, and I started understanding ingredients, and I started playing with formulas. I was doing some new triathlon stuff. Had some athletes, and I would just start playing with a power bar.
Yeah.
And those were some of my first formulas, like really advanced, based on like way ahead of the curve, and then seeing the lever of nutrition on people's lives more than the gym stuff, even though getting people out of pain was really rewarding, as you know.
Yeah.
That started the obsessive, beautiful journey, and it continued, obviously.
And then it just started traveling for it.
And then eventually the small town kid in me said, if I need to really understand these ingredients that I'm now playing with professionally, I got to understand exactly where they're from, who's growing them, how they're growing them, how they're processed, so that instead of people just marketing stuff and it doesn't match, which is why I love Manna, because it's matched in the quality and backed. I saw 99% of the supplements not doing it. So I went to go see farmers, and it just so happens they were in the Andes, in the Amazon, Southeast Asia, and it was kind of that process that I was like, holy, I felt a little bit like people don't know this. So I did feel a little, I didn't call myself that, but I felt a little bit of it Indiana Jones kind of thing. More of like, just like, how do people not understand? And then I'd be into facilities around the world, and I'd see boxes of like where people's stuff were going. And I was like, oh, that company, so I kind of, at a certain time, I knew where people were getting their stuff.
Yeah, wow.
And that supply thing, and then the kind of the ethnobotanical side of it, of understanding the plant, understanding where it's from, understanding the importance of those farmers and changing their lives. And
so, that's why I really appreciate companies like Manna, which is something you just have like, I talked to David about it, listened to you guys' podcast, the both of them, and there's a lot of trust on my end, and I think that's why it's so important to spread the word and shine a little bit of light onto the dark side of that industry, because we all know this one greens powder that everyone's talking about and taking. It's garbage, but they have millions and millions of dollars behind it, and then people take it, and you don't know what's in it. So it's why, I always come from a place, and that's really something I learned over the last couple of months, more so like the last year, and really like, I always believe the kingdom of heaven is within, and certain things we just need from nature to support our well-being. And as we spoke on the way up here, it's really, you have to have the bases covered, which does Manna fantastically. So if you have the minerals covered, and okay, as you said, we're electric beings, there's a magnetic field, there's a magnetic currents. We all can feel that when we tap into it. So, but you only can feel it when you're in the present moment. And I can't feel that if I'm all checked up on a million different supplements and a million different stimulants, and I only live in my head, I have a shallow breath, and that's 99.9% of the people in the Western world, in the world in general. And then, so when you take a moment just to sit with yourself in silence and actually focus on yourself and breathing, the crows agree with me. And then you understand what's important for the human body function, which is minerals, comes first. And then you find a product like Manna, and then you start taking it on a daily basis for 30, 40, 60 days, and then just watch how your life changes because and I'm sure you agree with it, it all really comes down to awareness. Because I can be blind and I pretend not to see. But when I have awareness and I feel something, you can't unfeel that, the good and the bad. And then it comes always back down to like, okay, what makes me feel good, and how do I feel in that moment when I take certain things or when I change certain things around. And then people say, oh yeah, but I feel good when I eat like fast food, or like I feel good when I take a Celsius, 2 Celsius in the morning and drink, like have 500 milligrams of caffeine in my body. But doesn't mean, I always say this, I read that a long time ago, what's possible doesn't mean it's optimal for the human body, because the body is very good in adapting. So I can train my body to run a marathon every day. How many years am I able to do that before I crash, right? I think that's why I feel the place where we really keep connected is on this, the two of us, on that understanding of that as humans, if we're not supporting each other with an open heart and like an open view, we're just like creating more friction, you know? And that's the thing, it's like, I can go out and like point fingers every day, but at the same time, like you point one finger, 3 fingers looking at you, and then what are those 3 fingers telling you? And I think in the end of the day, as humans, we all have a gift. And once you find that gift, then you just give it away, and then that's the beauty of life. And then you really don't ever work a day in your life. So that's my point of view. And that's coming back to like when I talked to David on the phone the first time when you introduced me to him. That's exactly what I felt. I'm like, okay, I really want to be part of that.
Well, when you feel, and thank you for sharing that, because it's when you feel, especially from when I've gotten a lot of time to see David, and to be around him, and to also understand the process, which I spent a big part of my life doing. When you feel that integration of where that was coming from, this product manifested as out of a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
For David, like legit surrendered his path to understanding himself and who he is and his contribution. But it matters where things are motivated from, and you feel all of that.
Yeah.
And so then you get to experience that as a customer, right? You get to experience the spiritual journey and the dedication and the real, this is not just out here stuff, it's grounded literally in the quality, because that matters. You know, just talking about the price a little bit, we've been delusioned. Even the clothes that you and I are wearing, they're forged clothes from natural processes from around the world, but we've gotten used to a $5 t-shirt.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? And the same thing with supplements. Like, what do you mean I can't get that bottle of Shilajit or whatever it is for $15? It's like, oftentimes with places like Consumer Labs or other places that test these things, you'll often find that what's in there is not matching the label. Some of which the product's not even in there.
Exactly.
I've seen criminal activity in products, in manufacturers, in places I've been where they were spiking it with pharmaceutical drugs and it was supposed to be a nutrition. That's what we're dealing with, and the FDA has no ability to control this amount of activity. So when we find products that are based in true integrity, and you and I get to get into them and dig into the honor of being able to share the product, is coming from our own integrity.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, I'm an ambassador and I'm here to make money off of you.
Yeah, exactly.
No. It's, and people can form whatever conclusions they want, but for me, it's literally in my DNA to share what is good for people
100%.
so that people then thrive, so that there's less suffering and that there's more joy and that there's more happiness, and they're not dragging around a chemistry set of a body that's dysfunctional.
100%.
So if you and I can contribute to that, and you're dedicated your life to this.
It's all about intention too, like the intention Manna was created with. No matter if people want to believe it or not, you consume that positive energy.
Who do I want to be? How do I want to show up?
Yeah.
What sourcing of energy can I be in the world? If I'm looking for happiness, be happiness. If I'm looking for the world to tell me I'm great, be great.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, smile first.
Smile first.
Do first. Support yourself first before it doesn't feel good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's always easy to as I said, to point fingers to others and blame other people, but it's always like look at them. I do the same. Like look in the mirror first. If you want the world to be light and happy, be the light of the world. Like that's what Jesus said. And it's the same thing in the end of the day. And I do believe we all, as soon as someone is on that path like we are, you tap into Jesus' energy. We all have that in us. You know that God lives in you and lives within me. Then I know also everything is the same. And one of the most important things when I started understanding that, and really more than understanding but feeling it, is when I know that God lives within me, and I know and I believe fully that God knows everything, then I know everything, you know everything. So it's certainly not about us to come. We're not here to learn, we're here to remember. So, and then when you find like-minded people like yourself, then it feels like, why does it feel we know each other forever? Because most likely there's been a past life where we met each other before, and then in this life you come back together. But more so when you're on the same frequency, then you just thrive. So it feels, I mean, you know that, and I'm so sensitive now when you're around certain people. You feel, either you get energy from it and you're like, wow, I just spent like 8 hours together and it felt like an hour. I wasn't on my phone once. Or you're around someone who's like, 30 minutes feel like 12 hours and you're exhausted after 20 minutes. So, you know, there's an energy to everything. And I think we live in an interesting world where right now in this time, this consciousness is rising. I do believe that. And hence, like, if you see, like, those kind of products wouldn't be around like 10 years ago. Right. And nobody would even be willing to listen to us saying that. And, you know, with the work I do, it's like, I have much more men coming to me as well, which tells me there's a demand for the awakening of the soul in a sense, and also like just to feel more than thinking, because we all can working out hard all the time every day, and as I said, like you can train your body to do that, but eventually you can't run away anymore. And so all those things just bring us back to oneself again. And like as I said, like Manna is a great part of my daily routine, just to bring me back to self in a sense where, like as I said, if I have the basic covered, then the rest of the day, and I add some movement to it in the morning. Yeah, that's all you need. Activation.
And I just gotta say before we wrap up, like the journey you've been on, the space, or the ownership of yourself.
Thank you.
The switch that is turned on inside of you is just absolutely noticeable and powerful. And the owning of your abilities, it's like I saw you step into your beingness without limitations.
Thank you.
Right? And it's been really beautiful to see. And then not even saying it, you're being it and you're sharing it. And that has been really extraordinary to see.
Thank you, it means a lot. Thank you.
It's true.
And I was always, I said that many times, I always had this thing in my head, like, and when I will repeat that for the rest of my life. When I was 5 years old, I might have told you this before, maybe on the podcast. I was cycling next to my mom and I told her, like, why, I always had this in my head. I remember it was yesterday. Like, why am I in this body? Why am I Jules? Or like back then, why am I Yoshi? And what am I doing? And I asked her, she could never explain it. And then growing up, like, you know, from becoming a mechanic and then a model and then trying to help people like fitness training and all that, nothing ever really felt right, you know. And then, yeah, it's like I can totally say the thing with like every strong man has a powerful woman behind. It's like Kate was really the catalyst for all of that, because she was able to hold space in that sense. So I was very grateful, and now, you know, getting ready to welcome Theo into the world any day. And yeah, I'm excited.
Literally.
Any day. Yeah. I'm super excited. And again, thank you for the words, and I'm very grateful for our friendship. And I know it's not short-lived. It's going to be till the end of time. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Let's hit the trail.
Let's hit the trail and get checked up on Manna.
Exactly.